Hey, welcome everybody to another month in review. I am Paul, half of Dads and Dice, here to talk about all the games that we have been playing here on Board Game Arena. So, microphone sounds good. Hey, Jeff, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here. We're just going to be talking about some games and then, excuse me, some goals that I have going on here with Board Game Arena. And we're going to see what's going on. I didn't get a ton of plays in this past month just because, the holidays and whatnot. Hey, Dennis, thank you for joining for today. But yeah, I didn't get a ton of plays. I thought I was going to get a lot more on Board Game Arena than I actually did. But it was kind of nice. I was not so on my phone on Board Game Arena. I was on my phone a lot, but not on Board Game Arena. So I still did get quite a few plays in this month with, let me pull it up here, a total of 13 different games. And a total of 19 plays. So not too bad. I had more digital plays than I had IRL plays. But yeah, so that is a little bit about that. Let's go ahead and move it over to the other screen. So here we are on Board Game Arena. And as I say at the beginning of every one of these, this is Board Game Arena. It is a digital gaming platform. And on this platform, there are, I don't know how many games. I'm going to say thousands of games on here. Probably not that many, but there's definitely a good amount of games on here. You do not need a premium account to play the games, but if you want to play the games that you want at the time that you want, you do need a premium account. And so then you can just pretty much start any game up and play with anybody pretty much at any time. So with that being said, I will go ahead and drop in my username in the chat. So if you want to add me on there, if you want to play any games, you can go ahead and add me on there. And I'll be more than happy to play those games with you, since I do have a premium account. Now, with that being said, I am also hoping to, sorry, doing something here. Excuse me. I'm hoping to possibly start a monthly, at least for the time, a monthly once a week on a Monday time where we can just kind of play a Board Game Arena game together. So if you weren't here, thanks for the ad there, Rare Blue Monkey. But if you were here on Friday, we announced our Discord server. I'm dropping that link in the chat right now too. But I'm hoping at least once a month we can actually join one of those voice channels on the Discord and possibly play some game live, whether that's me teaching a game, you guys teaching games, playing just, whatever, just setting off a blocked amount of time and then having those board game nights, those digital board game nights. So that's going to be the goal. I will post more on the Discord whenever I've got a date and a time and everything planned out for that, but that is going to be the plan for now. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the games that I played in about this last month on Board Game Arena. We're going to go from my most game played down to my least game played. So we're going to start off with, let's go to Japan. No surprise that this one is probably my most played one. I've been playing a ton with First Genesis with Patrick. It's been a fun one. Lately, we've been incorporating the Passport expansion. And what the Passport expansion does is it adds kind of a goal to your trip. So it can be stuff like have a lot of money saving symbols, right? So whatever this saving yen, it can be things that are like for every one of the green arrows that you get, it bumps you up twice on that track. It can be things like for every negative symbol that you get 1 victory point. So it's just little things to kind of push your gameplay in a way that you might not normally do. So when we've been playing it, I've been seeing a bunch of different versions of those cards. So they're not all just like join this or play it this way. It's not just play it that way. It's a lot of different kind of like ways to play the game to just change it up enough. So I've really been enjoying the Passport expansion. But let's go to Japan. Basically what you're doing is you're planning a trip to Japan by playing these different cards. So you've got these pink cards, you've got these blue cards. The pink ones represent Kyoto, the blue ones represent Tokyo. So every day on your trip, you're trying to do some type of activity. Now, you don't have to do that activity, but you do get bonuses if you do that activity. So, for example, on Monday, they want to do, we're going to say this is outdoors because I don't remember exactly what it is, but you want some outdoorsy activities. So this person put 1 on there. And depending on the amount of those activities you do, you get these bonuses. You can place these cards in front or behind of the previous placed ones. And the only one that scores is the one up here in the front. So this one is scoring if they have 2 temples, if they have visited 2 temples. So this person did visit 2 temples, so they'll score this for 6 points. When you go from Kyoto to Tokyo, you do need a subway ticket, a luxury train token, or your starting train token to go back and forth. If you do, it's points. If you don't have one, it's minus points. But that's just another way to kind of go through there. And then these symbols here determine your happiness on your trip or your stress level on the trip. And those are victory points at the end of the game. So it's a really fun one. There's a lot kind of in it. But it's a great, fun, quick game to play. And it's definitely a lot of fun IRL as well. This is one that I have played quite a bit at the actual table also. So that is Let's Go to Japan. Up next, we have It's a Wonderful World. So It's a Wonderful World. I've said it before, I am not the biggest engine builder person, but I do think that this is the best straight engine builder game. So It's a Wonderful World is a drafting game. When I was first introduced to this, when it first came out, hey Michael, thanks for joining us. When this game first came out, people said it is a combination of Terraforming Mars and Seven Wonders. Just Seven Wonders. I was going to say Seven Wonders Duel because that's the one that I played the most. But they said a mixture between Terraforming Mars and Seven Wonders. Now, I don't really necessarily see the Terraforming Mars too much. But the Seven Wonders with the drafting is definitely there. So on your turn, what's going to happen is you will have, I think it's 7 cards. And you're just going to pick one of them. And so the cards that you pick, you can do a couple things with them. You can either build them or keep them to build, or you can recycle them for this resource here. So in the game, there are 5 resources. And the way that they produce is in this specific order. So you're going to always produce your gray ones first, then your black, then your green, then your yellow, then your blue. Hey, Ken, thanks for joining us. You made it just in time, just started. So you'll produce these resources. And then as soon as you have produced those resources, you can place them on the cards that you've constructed out to the side. If you can't place them on any of those cards, then they have to go onto your Federation card or your Republic, whatever this kind of card is. And then if you have 5 on there, it turns into a wild. You really don't want to put too many here because they could be wasted. I mean, getting some wild resources are good, but you don't want to put too much on there, at least at the start. So let's say that this one gets built, right? So once it gets built, since we have already, if we've already produced black, then, I'm sorry, if we've already produced blue, then it's not going to go. But since blue is the last one, it would produce there. So you can build it before that resource gets produced, and it will produce those resources. I know that's not the best explanation. I've told y'all I'm terrible at explaining games. But what I really enjoy about it is that the game is only 4 rounds. So it's very, very fast. It feels like you can't get a lot of stuff done, but I've watched some people play it, and there's definitely a way to make it work. This is just one that I think on repeated plays, you start knowing those cards a little bit better. You start kind of not fishing for the cards that you want, but knowing what kind of colors synergize well and which ones don't synergize that well. You know how to start getting the general and whatever this other one is called. And then you really know like which victory condition cards to get. So this is a game that shines on repeated plays. I've been playing it a ton solo. I think this one's great 2-player as well. So yeah, it's a wonderful world. What I think is really great about this engine builder, and Devin and I have talked about it before, is the game ends at the perfect moment. You wish you had one more turn, but if you had one more turn, you would be able to do absolutely everything that you'd want. And then the game wouldn't be, there wouldn't be that tension in that game. It would just kind of be like, oh, I got to do it all, right? This one, there's like, it feels tight. It feels like there's that race to see who's going to get it the best with the least amount of time. So if you like limited turns or that feeling of just not having enough, that's a fun one for that. Up next, we have Harmonies. Harmonies was a game that I was very late to the party with. Here's a fast one. And when it came out, tons of people compared it to like a Cascadia. Hey, Ian. And so Harmonies was just kind of a game that kind of took everybody by storm. But basically what you're doing is you're drafting these little tiles here, and you're placing them on your player board. You can also draft a card if you have space for it in your tableau, and you're trying to make these patterns. So, like this card here, there's 2 blues in front of each other, and then there's 2 yellows on the opposite sides of the blues. So this person here is going for that pattern. You can see that. And then their little cube, this yellow cube, will get placed on this one here. So it's going to get placed wherever it is on that pattern. Michael, have you tried It's a Wonderful Kingdom? Because I don't know. I just don't think Wonderful World needs a 2-player version of the game. So once that's there, you can start building another pattern with the same one, and just kind of go from there. So there's theirs. They've completed that set. Looks like it was on the other one. And now they're going to do whatever they can to get these red ones on the opposite side here so that they can complete this pattern. Looks like they didn't do that there. But this one's been really good. This one is a really nice kind of puzzly spatial awareness game. Hey, Patrick, you are not too late to the stream whatsoever. Just started not too long ago on the 3rd game. And Michael, I agree. I just have no interest in A Wonderful Kingdom. I don't know. I think It's a Wonderful World is just perfect at 2 players. So yeah, this one plays, I haven't played it in real life, but this one, anytime that I play it with anybody, it's like a 20-30 minute game. Very satisfying to get those patterns, very satisfying to try to figure out which cards will work with other patterns, and just trying to score some big points on there. There is the, I forget what they call them, like the spirit cards, if it's possibly is what it is. I don't remember, but it's just a slightly different way to play it. But I enjoy this one. You also get points for different forests that you have, for like the height of your the trees. You get stuff for like your mountains, and all that kind of stuff. So you're up on your game of Harmonies as we speak. There you go, Ian. Harmonies is good. I think you may have introduced it to me, or maybe I played it solo and then we played it together. I don't remember, but it was a really good one. It was fun. I definitely want to try it out in person, just because I'm unsure of how big the spaces are, and if it's like fiddly, if you hit it, if like stuff knocks down, I'm not sure. But I think the implementation here on Board Game Arena is really, really good. So that was Harmonies. Up next, we have Seven Wonders Duel. I talk about this one all the time, and this has been Steve and my Nerdy Steve. This has been our kind of go-to game, and he has my number on this game for sure. I don't know what it is, but he sees it. So Steve, good job. I think this is your game. Tokens are pretty good size. Played it in person. Pieces are pretty chunky. That's good to know. That's definitely good to know. I can also imagine them being like the Azul pieces, which I'm sure they're not, but like that would be terrible to have like acrylic on acrylic. But that's good to know that they are a good size, that it's not going to like hit your fingers, because I know I'm always constantly hitting stuff. So definitely want to try it out. So here, Seven Wonders Duel. This is just another drafting game where you're going to be taking turns back and forth, just drafting cards. You're going to get either resource cards, which are these brown ones, which allow you to get other cards or possibly build out your wonders. You're going to get these silver cards, these gray cards, which are, again, just different types of resources. The yellow ones, which are resources that you can pay for. They can be money, anything like that. You have the war, which is here, this war track. You have blue, which is just victory points. And then you have green, which is the science track. So you can win one of three ways. You can win by victory points at the end of the game. If you have 6 of the 6 symbols, you can win the game. Or if your pawn makes it to your opponent's end on the war track. So this is just kind of like a tug of war. It looks like somebody's going to have a good chance to win here on war, possibly. Not science yet. Those are the same symbol. But anyway, this is just a really fun one, back and forth. And the game that I played with Steve, I want to say it was yesterday or maybe the day before. We were going up a track like this. He was 4 away from beating me on the war, but he had a special token that allowed him to go 1 extra space. Behind this card here was a 3 war, and I didn't want him to get it, so we kept making our way up here. And then, unfortunately, he drew this card, which meant I had to draw this one, which allowed him to get that war card, and he ended up winning it. So the writing was on the wall. I saw it from a very long time before that, and I was just doing everything that I could to try to avoid him getting that card, and it just didn't work out. So this one's fun when it doesn't go to war, just because there's that when it doesn't go to victory points, because there's that back and forth. And everybody kind of feels like you're in the game still. So this is a good one. It's a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy Seven Wonders Duel. I talked about it in the past. I don't think this game needs the expansions. I just like the base game of it. And yeah, Seven Wonders Duel. Play that one anytime, even though apparently I'm not very good at it. Castle Combo. It is wonderful, Steve. I swear, you need to do some what are they called? Some tournaments of it. And then hopefully you do really well, because then I won't feel so bad. Okay, so this is Castle Combo. I feel like I'm super late to Castle Combo. This game was awesome. I really, really liked it. It went completely under the radar for me for the longest time. And then I just feel like everybody was talking about it. I was like, it can't be that great. Let me just kind of figure it out. And I played it. It was awesome. Really, really like this one. So what you're doing is you're building this 3x3 grid of just these different cards, and you're just trying to accumulate points the most that you can. So you have this little meeple here, and the meeple is going to switch back and forth in between players' rounds, and that is the row that you can draft cards from. Now you can make this meeple move by paying one of these keys, and then the meeple will move, so then you can get cards from the other row. But all of these are things like you get 1 victory point per key that you have, 1 victory point per gray banner that you have, 3 per shields in a row and a column, right? It's just all different types of scoring conditions, and you're trying to make it the best layout on here. Hey, Pat, thanks for joining. You did not miss it. So like this one here, right? It's 3 points per yellow shields in this row. So he's got 3 points, 6 points, 9 points right here. And so that is, 9 points, which is really good in this game. If you can't ever pay for a card, you can flip it over, and then it gives you some coins plus some keys. But there are some scoring cards also that give you points for flipped over cards. So this is just a game of doing your best with what comes out. And of course, you can refresh the row like that person just did. But just really trying to maximize your scoring conditions and scoring points with what's on the board. This game reminded me sort of Creature Caravan, the way that points score. So it's like this, if this. And that's what I really enjoyed in Creature Caravan. It was things like this card is worth 1 victory point, but if you have 3 of these, it's worth 4. So this is, very similar to that in that your score is really dependent on what you have in your tableau. Ken just registered for BGA. The premium is kind of expensive for me. Hey, that's not a problem. That's what I was saying earlier. You can add me on Board Game Arena, and then I can start whatever game you want us to start. Anybody that has premium can start games with you, and you can actually decide, or you can choose a game that you want, and if somebody's looking for players in that, you can join that game on there. So even having the free version is a ton of fun. And like I was saying, I don't know if you're here at the beginning, I'm hoping to schedule a monthly Board Game Arena night through our Discord channel. And on that night, we could just kind of play games together. We can decide something. We can learn new games. We can play old games, whatever it is. I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of it. But as we get closer to that, I'll be posting stuff on the Discord there on the Board Game Arena channel and trying to figure out those plays. So that is Castle Combo. Awesome, awesome game. Ton of fun. Let's see. After Castle Combo, played some Great Western Trail. Man, this is a great game. Yeah, Patrick. Still, I'm trying to figure that out. So hopefully it works out. I know Jamie over at Stonemeyer Games. I know on their Discord channel, they do it. I think it's every Wednesday. I know Ian, you've been a part of that. So that's kind of where I'm getting the idea from. So I might have to join one of theirs one week just to kind of see how that works and what they really do for it. But yeah, so this is Great Western Trail. Man, this is such a great game. This is a really good one. It's funny, I kind of forget about it and then I play it and I'm like, oh man, this game was awesome. So like, I think it was like back in May, Devin and I streamed it. And I was like, whoa, that was really great. We need to play that again. So then I played it a couple times on Board Game Arena, and then just kind of fizzled out. And then we played it again at BGG Con in November. I was like, man, that game was great. I've been playing it ever since. And this time I was just like, I can't let that go. I have to continue to play it. So I will continue to play it so that I don't lose my excitement for it and so that I don't forget how to play. But on Great Western Trail, you are making your way down this trail. You're starting in Texas and you are going all the way up to Kansas. You're collecting cattle along the way, and with this cattle you are doing stuff. You can sell off your cat, or you can discard cattle to move your engine along this track up here. This track allows you to send your cattle further for cheaper. It also allows you to get some end game scoring, victory conditions, stuff like that. You can buy new cattle down here to add to your deck that are worth victory points at the end of the game. And then you can just build buildings out on the map to either hinder other players' progress or to help you manipulate your deck in different ways. So this is a deck builder that just plays really smoothly. There are a ton of different ways to play the game. You can go heavy engineer, you can go heavy buildings, you can go heavy cowboys. You can do a mixture of all of them. And every time that I've played it, try to do something a little bit different. But every time that I've played it, it's been fairly close. And that's something that I really, really enjoy about the game. Just because there are so many viable options to win. So that's Great Western Trail. Ken, you're saying games are limited because I'm not premium. So some game, you can't start every game. But you can click on every game, and if somebody's looking for players, you will join that game. So if you have a premium account, I can go into any game and just say, like, I want to play this. These are the people that I want to play it with, and it sends an invite to them. Free accounts don't do that. That's basically the only thing with that. Ian Stonemeyer has a separate channel just for gaming. It's every other week. Okay, I see. Well, if I'm free Wednesday night, maybe I'll hop in there and get some gaming in just to see how it's done. But yeah, that's Great Western Trail. This is a good one. I know Devin just recently got Great Western Trail Argentina in his collection, and I was talking to him about it the other day, and I think that's one that we're going to stream hopefully soon. We want to play it soon just because he's trying to play through his collection, and we don't want to lose the momentum with Great Western Trail. So that is that game. Up next, we have Tapestry. Tapestry is an interesting game for me. The first time I ever played it was on Board Game Arena. I think the first 2 times I played it, was on Board Game Arena, and I didn't really enjoy it. Then I got to play in person with Devin, and it was better, and we wanted to try it a little bit more because it was better. So then we played it again. It was even better, and then we started adding the expansions, and I really liked it in person. So this game has really grown on me. And the other day, I was just kind of itching to play it. So I went back on Board Game Arena, and I realized I just don't like I don't like it digitally. This is a game for me that I like that tactical experience of moving up the tracks, of rolling the dice, of upgrading your inventions, placing out your tiles, doing all of that. So I realized that this is a game that I just definitely prefer on the table. But this game is basically just tracks. You can move up either the exploration track, the science track, the technology track, and the military track. Excuse me. And do just different actions once you reach that. You also have a civilization that gives you some asymmetric abilities that you can do that others can't do. And then you also have this this map here that you're trying to fill in either columns or rows for victory points and just kind of other bonuses in between rounds. So what's interesting about this is both players aren't going to finish they're not going to finish their rounds at the same time. So one person might be playing longer than the other. It just really depends on where they're at in their game. So you have some incentives to play your Tapestry cards first because it gives you some victory points or some resources. But if your engine is working really well, then you're kind of wanting to prolong those rounds out. I like this one. It's a ton of fun. But I definitely prefer the actual board game a lot more than here on Board Game Arena. 7 p.m. Central Time for game night. I think I can do that this week. I'll have to double check. All right, Teotihuacan. Funny, this is another one that I played a very long time ago. Really, really enjoyed it when we played it in person. Devin and I were supposed to play it, I don't know, a while ago. Something happened. We didn't end up playing it. And we just kind of put it off, and we haven't really talked about it again. This is one that, again, we're hoping to stream soon. So I wanted to play a little bit of it here on Board Game Arena. Let me tell you, I completely forgot how to play this game. And I made a huge mistake on the game for the first eclipse. So basically what you're doing is you have these dice, and you're rolling the dice, and you're going to one of these 8 action spaces. So you're either going to be getting some resources, getting some type of technology, building up this pyramid, moving up these tracks, all that kind of stuff. You have this white token and then this black token here, and they move, and once they collide, that is when the eclipse happens, and that's basically just a scoring round, and a round where you need to feed your workers the cacao. So anytime you go to one of these spaces, you can either do the action or get cacao to feed your workers or to do other actions. Well, I wasn't paying attention to the eclipse rounds over here, and I spent all my cacao literally the turn that the eclipse was going to happen. So I completely spent all my cacao. The eclipse happened. I couldn't feed any of them. I think I ended up losing like 18, 20 VP just on that very first one. And then there was nothing I could really do to come back from that. But this is another one that has a lot of moving parts. I think this is another one that I prefer on the table, just because you can actually look at everything and really kind of see where everything's at. But it was good to kind of remind me of how gameplay works, and just some stuff to really pay attention to. So I definitely do want to play it again this month, but I know that I have to actually really sit down and really look at everything to make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to not screw myself over as bad as I did on that game, because honestly, that was kind of embarrassing. So that was Teotihuacan. Up next, we have Small World. Small World is an area control game. I've mentioned it before, but this was actually one of my first modern board games that I played years ago. So on this game, what you're doing is you're playing some type of race and some type of characteristic that they have. So like this person here are the Flying Tritons. So the Tritons have a special ability, and then flying allows you some special ability as well. So what you do on your turn is you are sending out your troops, basically, and taking over land. Once you take over these land, it gets you victory points based on either abilities that your races have, or just how much land you took over. And then once you start running out of troops, because you need to leave them there in the areas, your race will then go into decline. And once they go into decline, you flip them over. It's easier to conquest those areas, and just kind of go from there. So this is a really fun one. I've been having a lot of enjoyment playing it. I actually went up to D20 Tavern. It's our local board game bar here in town, and they were playing this game. And I really did kind of want to join the people playing it, but I was playing with other people, and I already had a game going, and they had their game going. But Devin just recently got Small World of Warcraft Dennis because he's a huge WoW fan. And he's actually heard that the World of Warcraft version is better at 2 players. So maybe that's one that we'll stream in the near future. But I know nothing about World of Warcraft, so I wouldn't be able to know any of the races or anything like that. But it's been fun. I've enjoyed playing this one, and it's given me some of that nostalgia that I had at the when I first started playing board games. So, and Ken, add me here on Board Game Arena, and I'll start a game with you. Okay. Wingspan. I was kind of on a Stonemaier kick there. I was actually playing Wingspan first, and then that's kind of what got me into wanting to play Tapestry. So Wingspan is another engine builder. Look at that, 2 engine builders for me. This is another one that really grew on me. The first time I played it, I did not enjoy it at all. I didn't like just having to go through that giant deck and going through there and trying to figure out what to do. But that was also very early on into my board gaming career, I guess we'll say, or just my board gaming hobby. So I gave it a couple years and then played it again, and actually turned out that I really do enjoy this game. So what you're doing is you are doing one of 4 actions. You're either going to play cards on your board here. You're going to put eggs on there, which allows you to play more birds. It also gives you victory points. You're going to get birds, which give you special actions like these brown banners here. They give you actions whenever they're activated. You're going to get food because you need food in order to play those cards. And then those are the actions that you're doing. So you're really trying to find the birds that synergize well with each other in order to give you the most victory points. Now, at the end of every round, there's also like a scoring condition here. So what I enjoy about this game is even if you don't really know what you're doing, there's always some type of goal to go for. So you can see that at the beginning of the game. It's just like, okay, on the first round, I just need to have as more birds in the forest, right? By the end of the last round, I need to have tons of eggs here on the, whatever this is, savanna, desert, in the grasslands. So there's a nice little, not cheat sheet, but there's a good way to get some points here. And if you're doing that, you're probably going to be doing pretty good for the rest of it. Now, of course, if you're playing with somebody that really knows the game, probably not as good, but it's a good way to start getting into this game. You've been playing Wingspan. I think I'd like to start with Wormspan. You've been wanting to play Wingspan? We have not tried Wormspan. That was one that we actually we went to that convention back in August, and we actually had it with us. We had it at the table. Devin actually knew it and everything. He was going to teach it to me, but we just ended up playing other stuff, and we never got to Wormspan. I do like the theme of Wormspan better. I know it added more mechanics in to make it a little bit more gamey. I don't know much about that, but it looks good. I would like to give it a try at some point. I think it's a little bit heavier than Wingspan. But yeah, Wingspan is just one that's been growing on me, and I've been liking playing it. Okay, next up, we have Ticket to Ride, but the new Switzerland map. I wonder if there's actually Switzerland ones being played, because that is the version that I want to show. Yeah, here we go. So they just released this map recently, and I like Ticket to Ride. I think it's a good game, but I also just really enjoy new maps, and I think it's really cool that they're adding these here on Board Game Arena. So with this, one big difference that they had is these destination decks. A lot of them just give you a starting point, and then just kind of a country to end in. So it could say start here in Chur, right? And then if you end in Deutschland, you get 5 points. If you end in Italy, you get 6 points. But if you end all the way here in France, you might get 12 points. So you have the choice to travel to any of these other countries here. Now, that's really good because, if your way gets blocked, you can always pivot to a different place. It also adds these tunnels on here, which I believe tunnels are in the Europe version of Ticket to Ride. But basically on this, you have to use, or if you use wilds, you have to give up a color, something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is. Ian, you might remember on there, but it has something to do with wilds. If you play the wilds, or maybe if you don't play wilds, you have to give up more of the color. I think that's what it is. So like if you have this 3 tunnel here, you'd have to give up a certain amount of the color. I don't remember exactly what it is. They also have country to country cards. Tunnels are in several versions. Okay. Big difference is the wilds can only be used in tunnels. That's what it is. And you can take 2 in a turn. That's right. So the wilds are only in the tunnels, but yeah, you can draft 2 of them. So this one was really good. The game that Ian and I had, we were both just drafting destination cards back and forth, and we were getting really lucky. I think both of us had like 10 or 11 of them at the end, possibly even more. And we were just getting lucky with our drafts. And Ian, you ended up beating me 159 to 156. It was super close. And I think it was just on that last destination card that you took. It just lined up with what you were doing. And you stole it away from me. With tunnels, you have to back up the cards you play by having extra cards. So if you're doing a 3-card route, it might be 6. Yep, that makes sense. So yeah, this one was good. I liked playing it. And now that I say that, I wonder if they have other maps on here for Ticket to Ride. So they have Europe. Looks like just Switzerland and USA here. Let's see if Ticket to Ride Europe has any expansions. I'm going to assume it doesn't. The 1912 expansion. Nope. So no other maps yet, but I'm assuming since they just released Switzerland, they'll probably be releasing some other ones. So I'm looking forward to that because I really enjoy the small map ones. Ticket to Ride Amsterdam and then Ticket to Ride New York. Those are all really fun. That was crazy. I can't believe how many cards we had. Yeah, we just kept on drafting them. It was just like, just give me more cards. Okay, up next we played Troy's Dice, or if you want to be real about how you say it, is Trois Dice. I had never played this version of Troy's before. I've played the original one, but not this one. And so, honestly, I just went on here so I could click stuff and try to learn the game as best as I could. I didn't do that well, but basically, there's 3 different buildings here, I guess. So you have what did it say on here? Count's Palace, I think. The fortress. Oh, all of these columns are different things. Anyway, you have these different things on here. You're rolling your dice. I don't remember off the top of my head, but this yellow track gives you money. This track here gives you, I want to say it was the dice mitigation, and this one protects different columns, which is different numbers. I need to go back and actually look into how to play it a little bit more because, like I said, I was really just on here rolling dice, crossing stuff off, trying to learn it as best as I could. And that was, when was that? That was over a month ago now. That was actually on the day after my last stream, so I don't even remember exactly what I did at this point. But yeah, Troy's Dice. Like I said, I need to go back in and actually read the rules and actually play it to really have an opinion on it. But that was that one. And then finally, welcome to the Christmas version. I wonder if I can find one with Christmas. I probably can't. There's ice cream. There's Christmas. Look at that. So this is welcome to Christmas version. So the difference on this one is you still have your plans, except this one is now you have some type of Christmas light plan. And so what the Christmas lights do is if you have sequential numbers, so any numbers that are, sequential, if they have to be in order, will get a strip of Christmas lights from them to the next one. So in order to fulfill this is you need all the houses on one street with a single string of lights, which is pretty hard to do because you just, it's hard to get all sequential numbers in a row. I would assume everybody's going to try to do it on this top row, but that doesn't always happen. Gameplay is the exact same as always, except for the Christmas lights. You have a column of cards that are the numbers. You have a column of cards that are the extra action that you can do. So like this one is a construction card. It allows you to add or subtract from this number. The pool, if you build it over a pool, you get victory points down here. There's a park symbol that allows you to cross out these parks here, which gives you victory points. And there is the, I forget what this one is called, but basically it allows your suburbs or your neighborhoods to be worth more victory points. So like if you have a fence, you can fence off this 2 here and have 2 houses in this neighborhood or whatever. And then you could cross this off, and then all your 2s are now worth 3 victory points instead. So this is a great flip and right. Devin has this game. We played it a ton when it was first released. He recently just bought all the expansions for it, all the maps for it. So like I said, I've tried this one now. I've tried Christmas. I think I've played the Halloween version of it. It has something to do with you either do a trick or a treat. I don't remember exactly what it is, but something with that. There's the Doomsday one. I think there's a Valentine's Day one. So there's all sorts of maps for Welcome to. But yeah, that is all of the games on Board Game Arena that I got played this past month. Like I said at the beginning, not as many as normal, but still a decent 19 plays of 13 different games. Looks like about 16 hours worth or so. I just realized earlier, I think it was this month, maybe it was last month, but BG Stats actually has an import from Board Game Arena option on there. So it's been keeping track of just my Board Game Arena plays, which has been really nice because I haven't had to go in and decipher what's what. So that's been a ton of fun on there. All right, let's see. For next month, a couple of goals. Like I mentioned, first thing that I want to do is set up a hopefully once monthly Board Game Arena night. It would have to be around 8:30 Central Standard Time ish, about the time that I start these streams. But I would like to start some type of game that we could learn together, get taught something, but just have some type of night that we can just play games on Board Game Arena. And again, I will organize that through our Discord, which I just posted in the chat down below. So if you're not part of that, go ahead and join that. And then I will post all the information for that game night whenever we do it, however that works, and what we'll do for it. As for games, what do I want to play? Haven't thought much about it, to be honest with you. I don't know if there's anything coming out. If you've played anything good lately, put a comment in there and I can try it. To be honest, I kind of want to play Arc Nova. I've played it once in person, and I'm sorry, I've played it 2 times for sure, maybe 3. 2 times for sure in person. And I wasn't super impressed, but I think I'm just missing something. So I definitely want to give it another go. I want to try it. I think the expansions are on here. Yeah, Marine World is on here, and I think oh, look at that, peaceful mode. I wonder what that is. Custom setup. Oh, and they do have the maps as well. So I don't know. I think I want to give this one a go. It is a complex game for newcomers. Yeah, I know how to play it. I've definitely played it before. I really like the actions at the bottom that determine the strength based on how long it's on there. I really enjoy that one. So I don't know. I'll try to give that one a play this month. Is Creature Comforts on BGA? It is not on Board Game Arena. Dennis, you got me so excited. Creature Comforts is one of my favorite dice worker placement games. I absolutely love it. Man, you got me excited. I was like, oh, they need to get that on there. Well, if you have that game, I hope you get to play it, and I hope you get to like it as much as I do. Let's see. So I want to play that. Acropolis is another one that I've heard good things about. Maybe give that one a go. Ian, you said Fromage. Hoping to get Fromage to the table soon. So I was not super impressed with Fromage here on Board Game Arena, but I think that if you play it live with people, it might be better. So that could possibly be a game that I look into doing for that game night, because Devin and I talked about it. That is a perfect 4-player game, and it plays so fast. So give it another try there. And then, Dog Park. I don't know if that one's new on here. I've heard decent things about it. It's always been one that's kind of caught my eye, but I've never actually looked into it. Heat would be a good one. Haven't played Heat yet. Potions of Azurland. That is a new game, I think just released recently. I didn't play any Forest Shuffle last month, so I'd like to get some of that in. That was one of my favorites. I really like that one. Sky Team. I'd like to play more of that. Ian, we got a game going on right now. I'd like to play some more of that, possibly go through the campaign. I just saw Feast for Odin has the Norwegians expansions now. I've got a game going with Patrick right now of that one. And Norwegians is just essential for this game. I feel very strongly about that, and I'm so glad that it's here on Board Game Arena now. I'm intrigued by Heat, but have never played it. Umbrella is really good. What is Umbrella? Umbrella. Vincent Dutrait art. Let's see. What are we doing in this game? Do you have this game in, do you actually have this game, Ian? Is it the one that's played in the box? Stacy bought Sea Salt and Paper. I've heard good things about that one. Haven't played it. How to play this? Pick an umbrella from one of the edges. Slide the umbrella on any row. Huh, interesting. I'll have to look into that one. Looks like a nice little spatial puzzle. All right, Ian, I'll have to check that out. I just realized the one I'm thinking of is called Paris, I think. That one gets played in the box. So yeah, that's all that I have here on Board Game Arena. Let's go ahead and flip the chat here. So yeah, appreciate you guys joining me on here. Like I said, I'm going to try and figure out this game night, and I'll just post some more information on there. Just because I feel like it would be a fun thing to do, just a fun way to communicate with people, to build that community, and to actually do something. And since I'm generally free on Monday nights are the best day for me. Monday nights would be good. Like I said, probably around that 8:30 time, generally when I stream. And it would be for, 60 to 90 minutes, possibly a little bit longer. since it is a work night, and I know for a lot of you guys it is as well. But yeah, that is all that I have. If there's any games on Board Game Arena that you think I should check out, drop the comment below. Let me know what those are. Hopefully we'll get them played. And anybody that's out there, let me play something. Ken, what's your username? Excuse me. I don't know if you added me already on here, but put a comment in there. Let me add you. You can add me, and I'll get something started. But that is all that I have. I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate the discussion, all of that. It's always good to have people present for these things. Just always makes it better. So you guys have a good night. Dennis, thank you for being here. Everybody else in the chat, we appreciate it. And we will talk to you guys next time. Real quickly, Devin will be here on Wednesday with Tabanusi. He was going to be out of town, but with the weather and everything, he is in town, so he will be streaming on Wednesday, and then we'll be doing something together on Friday night. So that is all that I have. Appreciate you guys being here. Until next time, talk later.